Theme song. The very top of the morning in our hospital. Our hospital with okay, it was pretty low prestige the day before. It's pretty low prestige right now. We have some work to do, but I know why. I know why it's low prestige, and we're going to work on it right now. Welcome back to Project Hospital. Okay, the main reason it's low prestige is because we have, as I was warned, we have very few beds. So what happens is people collapse, they get into one of these trauma rooms, and they end up just kind of like, I don't know, just middle of the night, no staff around, just spending the night on these trauma tables. It's not ideal, so we need to fix that. And a part of that is, well, I need more beds. So I think, folks, we've saved up 56,000 doubloons. We may have to save up more or take out a loan, of which I've also paid off. So realistically, I mean, if you look at the last day, I don't know how many days it took me from the last episode to this episode, but I've paid off $40,000 in loans, and I'm up 56K, in some profit. So here's what I want to do, folks. I think it's time for that third floor, and we're going to get into a different design. I know I've said it in the previous episodes. I want to break up the design, so it's time to do that here. Break up the design of this hospital a little bit. And make the successive floors a little more of a, you'd see like this is our sort of like more interesting, challenging structure. And then you would see basically hospital wings kind of emerge out of the structure. So that's kind of what we're working on today. To do that, we need to consider what we're going to do. So in order to make more rooms here, we need to move. I think the move is obvious. The labs need to go here because already we have a lab here. So this waiting room can be radiology and labs instead of cardiology and labs. And then this area, we kind of don't need all this stuff. So we get to redesign this whole area. Then we need to move, to make this work, cardiology up to the dreaded third floor. So I think the best thing to do right now, really, is to get working on that third floor. Do I want it to be brighter? That's a good question. Let's let time run straight on till morning. Hopefully this doesn't charge us a bunch of that money that I need. I mean, worst case scenario, we can just take out a loan or something. And there we go, nice and bright. So now we can kind of see what we're doing up here with our third floor. And like I said, I want to change up the shape, but we do have to remember where the elevators are. So I can't really change it up that much. But what I was thinking we could do is the following. So what do you do? Build foundations, I assume? No, there's already foundation here, so we just... Oh, I guess we have to... Do we have to add this floor? Or does this already count as a floor? I think it counts as a floor. Okay. So, nope, it doesn't. There we are. Okay, now we've built a new floor, and it brings the elevators up automatically, so that's nice to see. We're probably going to keep a third floor here for our ICU, and then this is going to... Man, those elevators are big, hey? This is going to be where we begin our new little design here. Right off the bat, maybe we go into planning mode. What I'd like to do is have a series of wings with maybe little abutments coming out on this end too to kind of give it a little bit of a nice shape. I'll show you what I mean in a second here, but by basically laying out corridors, I think is going to be the best thing to do. So if we go into, let's say we start off in cardiology mode, and we grab our corridor tool. We obviously know we need like 3 or 4, 3 probably, in front. And I think we've been going with... 1, 2, 3. A triple wide hallway in most cases. This is like not ideal, a two wide hallway. So I kind of want to try to avoid that if possible. So what we could do is even plan on having this to be just an empty corridor through there. Obviously, we're going to need a corridor down here. And what I think we almost want to do is kind of copy this. Like, I liked the way that this reception looked for them, so we almost want to keep that room there. But then what I want basically is like corridors down here, and then rooms on either side of the corridors. Something like that. So what we need to do is design all of that in a way that is pleasing for you guys to watch. So enjoy this time lapse while I fret and hum and pull my hair out. I almost said teeth. And we'll see how this looks once I'm back. After much wailing and gnashing of teeth, I think I've done it. I think I have the design. It is not what I was hoping for it to be. Like I said, I wanted those wings and everything. I think we'll have lots of windows, though. That's nice. But I don't think I got what I was hoping for out of the shape, out of the restrictions that we've given ourselves. I can't wait until the next hospital I build where I give myself all the room in the world and just build a nice, giant hospital. But that doesn't make it as fun because it's very easy to just set up a wing. Why would you watch an episode of somebody just to lay down a bunch of cards in a row? So this is, let me explain what I did by the doorways here. This is basically the layout I think is going to work while at the same time dealing with the crappy situation we've built ourselves, which is the elevators are in the middle of the space. I'm starting to believe that was a mistake just because, even on the first floor, look how much dead space that has to create for these elevators to even be functional. So what I've done here is we have our elevators. You come out here. It's a 3D hallway. These are basically what I was trying to do is separate rooms for each regular ward room. I theoretically could still attempt to do that within a 3x3 space. That's the minimum here. There. That is the minimum room space. However, I do think by doing that, you end up with this little double wide hallway, which just isn't as visually aesthetic. It's not a good, it looks very tight. However, but if I make this all open concept, then this whole thing becomes my regular ward. And then this is basically just to track how many beds I can squeeze into the space. I squeezed one more in here. So the doctor's room is going to be a little smaller, but I think I can make do with that. So this gives me 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 regular rooms, and then one more private one. And then I have 2 and one more, a private room here for the HDU, and then a shared HDU, which is, not ideal, but sometimes that's the way it goes in your hospital. So basically the idea being this wall, it would come around, this whole space would be kind of one room. Inside it are these little private rooms right here, and that gives you access to a washroom, 2 washrooms. I think I can make that work. If not, I might have to get rid of this washroom and figure out something else to do here. And then that is not very many wards. I realize we're going to end up with people with running out of space again. So we're going to have to keep working on that. But for future proofing, I would like on the next floor up to get general surgery going on, at which point maybe up there, I think they need fewer things. That doesn't look like it. It doesn't look like it at all. Oh no, they still need cardiography and sonography, so that's that. Can you just give me tell me we don't need a lounge. Oh, they need a lounge. Okay, so they need the exact same setup we have, minus any room. So we're sharing a common room over here with the ICU. Oh yeah, I organized the ICU, by the way. But basically the dream was to create a surgery wing, like a floor with a bunch of surgery buildings. In the meantime, since we don't have that floor, we don't have the money for that floor yet, I'm going to go ahead and make this the surgery room, but I'm keeping this in mind for another small regular ward. So as you can see, it's still a pretty wide hallway, but that's another 4 beds right there in the future when we can afford to move our operating room. I think what we might have to do, and again, leave your comments below, what we might have to do is make this floor all full of surgery stuff and surgery hospitalization or something. Or the surgery rooms, the general surgery office, reception, blah, blah, blah. Maybe a large common room or something, just like some shared rooms, and then some large surgery theaters. Then on the floor above, we have our... these aren't even shared. That's so annoying that they're not shared. That's going to be so expensive. A technologist dedicated just to that. Okay. Well, so maybe we're going to have to split departments up into floors is what I'm thinking. So we can share these, some of these rooms, share some of these burdens. So for now, though, we really want to get cardiology up and running in a better way. And I think this is the best possible way. So that's, once again, 4 HDUs and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 regular wards. I could also turn this into an HDU, and quite frankly, you could turn all these into HDUs because the difference is you need a life monitor. Pretty much that's the only difference as far as I can tell. You want a little bit of furniture too, give them a sense of their own private rooms, but I don't think that we have the privilege of a hospital like that. That's up to me. Let's see what I can do. Now, what has it done to the shape? Well, it's interesting. It's not my favorite shape I've ever seen in my life. I could mirror this abutment, this jutting out, by having this jut out a little bit. But I think we could do a small green roof there or something. But not with some plants, but maybe more a... we can have a door right here to get onto the green roof. That's cute. We can move the lounge out onto the green roof. Actually, I wonder if you can do that. I doubt it. Anyway, we'll have to think about that. So this is the idea here. This is what we have. It was a real pain in the butt. It's created some design issues here where I've tried to get rid of some space. And again, I could have more beds, but I really want to start paring down the space and not just make each floor a copy of the one below it. Otherwise, it's not that interesting. I just need to figure out a detail piece, something to do here to make it kind of worthwhile. But we'll worry about that later. Right now, let's get our walls up and finish the roofing here so that we can at least take a look at the shape and decide if we like it. There we have it. There is the finished sort of exterior of the third floor. Some more design work to do, obviously, and some coloring, which I will do at the end of the episode. But, you can hear the disappointment in my voice as we try to figure out what is a way we can compress more stuff in this room, in these rooms, but not lose out on the ability to actually take in patients. So I don't know. We're going to figure that out, and I want your comments in successive episodes, but I think the challenge will continue. So this is basically step one in the challenge of figuring it out. At the end of the day, you just need the rooms you need, and they take up the space they take up. The biggest problem is the elevators. So cutting the elevator hallways down to one, I think going all the way back, putting elevators right at the back of the building, and then you just have one hallway straight down the middle. Like, I don't know, that's a possibility. But we have painted ourselves into this corner, and so we're just gonna live with it. We just gotta live with it, baby. We can make this our main. No, you just need a bunch of elevators too. That's the other thing. Is like you just need the elevators. So anyway, this is kind of what we're dealing with, and here is here's the walls that we have for our our new hospital area. As you can see, what I've done here is you still have access to the lounge from the elevator. Then you're going to go through these hospital doors here into all of this ward space. So this is all cordoned off ward space. Then from there, we have yet another compact nurses station to build right here. And also compact doctor station, but compact is going to be the name of the game. So the next step really, I think we're going to have to move these rooms. But to do that, we're going to have to kick all these doctors out of here. So once we've done that, that's why I didn't put walls in, because it copies up the walls as well. So once I've basically moved those rooms, and we don't have to worry about any other movements, really. I might just get these washrooms in here and designed, because we don't need to worry about that. And then, move my beautiful reception area, which I quite like. So I want to put some more glass around that and kind of move some stuff around there. And I'd say we're good to go. So you come out of the elevator here. You're going to see your entrance. Oh, let's pause the game. You're going to see your entrance. You're going to walk right down this hallway, check in here, wait here. We might need to redesign this because it's only got the 4 waiting spots, like the 4 chairs. So I might need to rethink about how I design that, or like repurpose this massive hallway here, because it really is. It's so big. We could put chairs along here and then extend the waiting area over to here. Maybe even put another screen here. I wonder if you can have 2 waiting rooms. We could honestly put another waiting room here, a little hallway there. Could be something that we do. But anyway, those are kind of the options available to us. But this is how it's looking now. We've moved the stuff up. It's feeling pretty good. Overall, feeling pretty good. I think the next big thing to tackle, though, is going to be this space. Because A, we need to figure out if this is all possible. My little plan. So I want an open nurses area with a lot of nurse stations, only the nurse station these are yellow. It says they kind of want meal trays and stretchers there, but we might need to just find somewhere else to hide them. And where is that going to be? I don't know. This area, as you can see, is pretty packed. We could probably put a stretcher here and then have doors there for the high diagnostics. And then I kind of forget there's been a bit of time in between recording this, so I kind of forget. I think the plan was one bed in there. I bet I can get a few beds in there, or just make this a massive, like a really nice room. But I bet I can get 2 HDUs in there, 1 HDU in there. Yeah, because I think this is a regular ward. So we want 3 beds in here at least. And then as we go on to the floors above, I want to change the shape of this hospital yet again. And then we can ditch this surgery room and make a shared surgery up here. I think that's episodes from now. So first, we need to design this little mess here, for which I've created the walls. We've done our drywalling. We just haven't done our actual design work. So let's get to it. First of all, we need to be able to get in there. Can I do a sliding door? Obviously, it's not letting me. Probably just a double door here. Oh, you can change the color. Okay, that's good. So peach? That's not the right peach. There, yeah, okay. So that's going to be like, yeah, come on. This is the entrance to the peach or cardio wing right there. And then we have kind of just open hallway here. This is going to be our ICU that we're going to design probably in the next episode. This we could just go red with and keep that vibe going. I would say you'd want to enter this ward as well on this side and be able to get to and from surgery. So let's do this. Let's put the door close here so that I can get washroom access in there. Oh, which I forgot to bring those up, but that's why I'm not worried about that. And then we're going to design our surgery wing. Okay, that's good. So step 1, that's step 1. Step 1's done now. If we go into this regular ward here, we can see what they want. And see what I can shove in around it to kind of make things nicer. I could sacrifice this area here for storage, or this area and make a little storage area for some stretchers. But I think having 5 and then a 6th bed right here is pretty good. But maybe we can repurpose it later, like do a little renovation. So if I want to just copy these over, I'm going to do... Let's see, how much money do I have? 47,000 doubloons. We're kind of good. A modern hospital bed just feels pretty good. But since we're going with a sort of like lower rent vibe, maybe the modern hospital bed... I mean, does it improve their outcomes? That's the real question. I think it's just a vibe. Provides more comfort for patients. Okay, never mind. I'm exactly wrong. Oh, high-tech hospital. Yeah, see, that's like too fancy. So we either go modern... which I don't mind. I'm going to go here. I'm going to go simple because this is a very large, like a joined ward, like a bunch of beds. So it's just not that fancy at the end of the day. Let's go for a bed socket here that's kind of... I like the old school one. It's there's something about it. It's because it doesn't look that great. You know what I mean? It's got a bedside table on this side, and we can't put something there. It'll block the use of something. Oh, just access to the bed. Okay. So, I mean, that's pretty much a regular ward. That's like what it needs. And then next to it should be... We could do what I do in the Space Haven game and pretty much just put in a wall and some glass divider. What do we do over here? Let's see what we did over... Because I don't mind what we've done with these solid walls. I'm not sure that you would do that, though. You would have curtains in a big public space like this. But the problem with that is they take up... Yeah, see, I can't put them there. I'd have to put them here, which would then block the bed next to it. So, like, unfortunately, the wall is just the way to go. What if we did... What does this look like? Does the ward have, like, walls like this? I mean, that's not bad, right? What we could do is try to put some electronics on it so to kind of give the sense that there was, electronics involved, maybe. And then, yeah, go along the wall here. Because, again, this is the cardio wing, right? So I do want to give them a sense that, like, come here to... We don't want things to be stressful for them. We don't want them to have heart attacks. Okay. I don't need to copy all this wall just yet. Whatever. I'm still designing. Give me a second. So if I go back into the ward mode and kind of bring this up, well, I could put a bed socket there. Like, it would look good, but it's not... It's just kind of a waste of money, and that's 200 doubloons right there. But what else can we get on the wall that kind of makes sense that you'd have in each one? Just each one has its own... Oh, wall-mounted lamp is not a bad idea. Over the bed. Over the bedside table. That's kind of nice. Okay, I like that. And then I wonder if there's room to put curtains in front. Would they be mad if I did that? Let's go curtains. Privacy screen. See, that kind of looks nice, to be honest. Like if I did something like this, but we changed it to be... I mean, do we like blue? We've already made the bed blue, which I think we should... Let's take a look at pink. A pinkish red hue. Let's go with that for our color now and see what we can do with that, because that kind of... Yeah, we got blue over here, so let's do this pink kind of vibe. I kind of like this. I like this little room here, and then what I think we just do is like, kind of make it symmetrical, like, you know, or sorry, uniquify it. That's the word I was looking for. Uniquify it over here so that there's, you know, a poster, different kinds of things on each one. So let's copy these over first. Copy and create. We're trying to move a room. Copy this room over and get that set up here. And then one here, which looks like it is still accessible, so that's kind of nice. That's going to work. That's looking pretty good. I think the next thing to do is rotate my camera a little bit here and consider our windows. Now, I like this vibe. I don't want to go super modern with it. That can be the next hospital we do. That's right. If you guys want another, you know, series of this, let me know ASAP. We can't quite go... Oh, I've put stuff on all the walls, so maybe next to it, we could go there. Let's see if that looks any good. That's a lot of windows, but again, it's a cardiology department. That one is kind of not great being right up against the window, so I'm going to get rid of that one, I think. Or right up against the corner of the wall, sorry. So I'm going to get rid of that one. We'll go maybe tall window in here. Could be kind of nice. Tall window. Tall window. It's perfect. It's so symmetrical, kind of. Okay, I love that. Tall window. And then what was in this room? I can't remember, but we're going to put a regular old window right sort of smack in the middle here, so that looks a little bit more... Oh, I guess we could copy it, do a double window. So that kind of looks like we're carrying on with the theme. Here, it seems to be like they would want some windows, and we probably can if I get rid of that clock. And then these guys... I mean, that doctor deserves a window. They work hard. They work hard. Let's grab this clock and just put it over here for now. They kind of want to be able to see the clock anyway instead of have it behind you. Is that a feng shui thing? I think that would be very stressful, actually. Yeah, you'd want to be able to look at the clock. In other news, I also just realized the reason they were blue is because the bedside tables were actually not placed in the right spot. So I'm sure some of you were yelling at your cameras now, or your screens rather. I could use this opportunity to move the windows over by one. Mistakes have been made. They have been corrected. I kind of just want to put a couple of chairs in here. I'm wondering if the chairs are going to be a problem for like actually getting around and doing stuff. But I always like the idea of there's a chair next to these for a partner to sit there and hold their hand, or also if they're getting out of bed to like, you know, put their clothes on or something. You know, it's very small. It's a very tight area, so it kind of would be nice to give them the option to have a little bit of you know, some dignity, right? They can sit down and have some dignity. If I click over into the nurses section, I can also grab a couple of stretchers here. Let's go with not an emergency stretcher, but more of just like a hospital stretcher, and just kind of get that in the corner here. And then over in this corner, I wonder where I could put in... Oh yeah, what do I have here? An on-call room, right? Okay. I could probably try to figure out a spot to put a wheelchair or two, and then of course a meal cart. Since this is a ward and this is a closet, I bet I could actually do a wheelchair or two. Don't like the yellow. Yes, do a blue one here. Like so, in the corner. And then, you know, I hate to say it, but I'm actually liking how cluttered things are looking, because it feels like a pretty crunched up, tight, you know, kind of place, kind of hospital here. Let's go restricted area there. And then we probably need... Do you need two doors for a... Because like a stretcher is going to come and go from these rooms. So I think that's a two-door situation. Double door with oval windows could look nice. It doesn't look nice. It just looks like a restaurant. I don't understand the reasoning behind that. I feel like you're supposed to have double doors because you're coming in there with a stretcher, like I said. So, and they should probably open in, if that's even possible. Those ones are nice, but they feel very, like, outdoors. Oh, that's a... Honestly, I realized something. That's got to be the entrance. Yeah, that looks like the entrance to this whole thing. There we go. That's great. That's like a proper ward door, which you can't even really see. So then that opens us up to use these ones, and they don't feel as entrancy. Like, to me, that's like, yeah, the color coding is pretty entrancy. And then we could go here, or dare we go with, yeah, because then restricted is my only other option. So we're just going to need to go with double doors that have these windows in them that look a little professional, or like a office rather than a small ward. And there we go. And now this room here, kind of, yeah, we should make it pretty nice. So let's give this person a modern hospital bed. Right? And then let's give them a, still kind of a chill bedside table. A defib on the wall. Okay. Perhaps a sofa. Yeah, sofa works. Because the door's going to open into that. Okay, good. Bed socket. There, which I still think works. Yes, very good. Do we give these guys like a TV? Yeah, let's give them a wall TV in the corner. Dude, we're being so nice. Whoever gets put in this room, like, we should be able to charge per room. You know what I mean? Like they did with us when my baby was born. There's different rooms, and they had different costs involved. Okay, in the walls section, let's like revert. No, let's keep this the same. Let's not invert the wood paneling because I don't know if you'd be able to afford doing that. Same thing in here. Wood paneling is going to be fine. We're in cardiology. And then our floor should be a little simpler. I hesitate to do anything other than just like a white floor because, like, you know, you're cleaning it. It needs to be cleaned all the time. Let's see. Do the white floor across here. And then maybe, like, I don't know, something nicer in here, maybe? Some sort of a parquet? Like a slightly darker one, perhaps? We could do that. And then in here, you're going to want your, let's do a white floor in there as well. And then maybe a tile for the bathrooms, but we're going to copy those up in a second. And then here, we could do that same parquet. Like, they just used some of the pieces and brought them over. How do we feel about that? It's a little too white. It's a little too stark. All right. You know, we're not Avengers here. You know what I mean? Tony Stark. We want things to be not as intense. Also, that peach... That is the peach button, isn't it? It's not the peach from the... It's not the same peach. What are my options? We could go with this. What's this floor look like? Ugh. Like, wouldn't that floor... Like, that floor gives me, like, trypophobia vibes. I don't want to do that to them. Metal... Like, shiny metal panels. We could do a line... Because one thing you could imagine with a line, right? Is that it's like, listen... You know, no... Like, this is the bed. Oh, the little dots, though, are throwing me off. But it's like, this is the area where beyond here we have, you got to be nice to these people. This is no stretchers past this area or something like that. I don't know, something like this, maybe. Is that a thing? I don't mind the tile, though, do I? So let me just, yeah, copy that out here. Is this tile? Yeah, it's a very, very light tile, which breaks up that sort of white veneer kind of vibe. And keeps a little bit of whiteness on the floor there, but you can see sort of a trim around it. That's nice. I like that. That feels good. Okay, so let's rotate things around and take a look at our nurses station. What do we need here? We need desks, we need PCs, we need all sorts of stuff. We could go with, instead of desks, we could do the... Like, let's see what my options are for. There we go. Those cupboard, like what we did over here with the red, maybe could be kind of good. Just color coded a bit, or we use this one maybe. What does that look like? Like, that's not terrible. Let's try it. Let's try it for a bit, and then you guys will leave comments and be like, "I hated it," and then I'll be like, "Okay, geez, all right, I'll stop." Geez. So we could technically just have all 4 nurses right here. I think we go 2. Yeah, again, 2's not going to get us that many. That's the problem, right? Because that only gets us 2 nurses. So if we need a total of 4 nurses at least, what do you need in this area? Hospitalization, we need... Oh, we can't even hire them yet. But you're going to need, like, surgery nurses too. You need surgeons or nurses that are able to do surgery. And then nurses in general, 3. So there can be some overlap there. Yeah, so we'd need at least 4. Like on the low end, we need 4. So we're just going to have 4 computers here. We're just going hog wild on this. And then, of course, they need their equipment cabinets and meal trays, etc. But that's all yellow. So the main thing they need is equipment cabinets. So we could do a wall-mounted one here. And maybe go silver with it. Put some cupboarding there. Where's the lower ones? There we are. Let's give me one of those, and then one with drawers here. And then get me a sink there because it's just going to look good to have a sink here. And then, like, that's the problem, right? Not much else. Like, yes, they want a meal tray and a wheelchair there, but it's only a nice to have. Let's put a meal tray here because it's cluttery, and I do like the good clutter. Let's think about what this wall looks like since we flip things around and get this wood going. Here, and here. I really do think... I think I'm barking up the right tree with the clutter. It's just a matter of, like, can we make this feel a little better? This is, like... I don't know about the row of... the row of nurses is a little weird. Let's go into this. But now I've got all 4 of my nurses, which is going to be good because there's 3 nurses there. Hopefully 2 of them are surgery nurses, and not that they need to be... Like, I'm hoping overlap is okay. That's basically all I'm hoping. That's what's going to make this work. If not, I'm pooched. And we have to totally redesign this thing. Okay, let's add in that wall. And again, we can actually redesign it once we move on and get people upstairs, move our surgery upstairs, because this is going to create more bedding here. But I might not need that much more bedding if I've created enough, speedy capacity down here. How much do I have left? I have 26,000 doubloons, so we need to be careful because we still need to build a lot more rooms yet. So let me finish the walls here and let's move on. And when I say move on, I of course mean move on to decorating this area. Because what is a crowded hospital without some signage in some places, without some, maybe a summer calendar right here on the wall? Now let's put it back here. The only problem with this angle is I'm not going to be able to see it, and that's all that matters to me is that I get to see it. But hey, what are you going to do? If you're noticing, I'm actually clicking out of this decorations section a couple of times while I'm playing this. And the main reason for that is because I've moved my recording to a new office, my office at work. And I'm a freelancer. It's okay. I'm allowed to be recording at work. And I don't think I copied over the thing that fixes this, one of the mods. There's a busted mod that's like wrecking stuff in here. I forget what it is. Let's go poster. Let's get a poster in here. Not a parasite one. Maybe just one that's like reminding people about masks. That's kind of nice in there. And then we should probably have a... Is there one for... where's it? There we go. Escape and rescue plan. Okay, I can't access it. So you click out and back in. Go to decorative, escape and rescue plan. Make sure that's kind of in all the spots that I might need it. So maybe one here and one here. Well, I guess, the escape and rescue plan is like, go to these elevators. Because in this universe, if there is a fire, the elevators have to stay working. And that's simply because there is no other way out. Another commenter, let's see if I can find the person's name and shout them out here. Another commenter also said that one of the weird, kind of annoying things with the game is that you also can't see vital signs on people. I really do think there's a Project Hospital 2 viable where you can kind of see where they really dive into things and maybe it's a bit more 3D. So $3,000, do I want to build one of these? I gotta be careful. If I buy too many of these, I think I have to go simple. If I buy too many things right now, I still haven't set up surgery and some diagnostics wards and then probably a lounge to go visit people. So yeah, let's be careful here. Now, if I could do this and this maybe... That's gonna... Oh, they need a life monitor advanced. That's 2,000 doubloons, or I just go 15.99 on this one. We're gonna go cheaper ones for these poor guys. Let's go bed socket above here and here, and they need bedside tables as well here and here. Can I get a little bit of separation for them? I don't want to cause... There we are. That's kind of working. That's working. And then maybe a chair. Let's hit the eyedropper tool and grab this chair. Put that chair there. Maybe one there. We could put, you know, I haven't seen, okay, a defib, of course. Let's put it on the wall here. I need a garbage. I've not seen like a lot, we don't have a lot of garbage cans in this particular ward, so you're going to need biohazard bins here. Maybe the yellow ones. Nah, they look a little too gross. Let's go here. I guess these guys need one, really. Where could I hide one? Around the corner, I guess. And yeah, put the door to the washroom right there. And then we also need a disinfectant dispenser above it, maybe, like that. One there and here. Okay, so that's sort of our HDU. We've got 2 beds in there, and this will be a 3rd one. How am I doing? 19,000 doubloons. Things are getting pretty spicy here. Let's eyedropper tool a lot of this stuff here. We don't need to be... Oh, I made them all blue, didn't I? Oh, that's fine. That's fine for these ones. Shift control, get the chair out. I love that I'm like, oh, I gotta watch out for my money. I'm still gonna place nice wooden chairs everywhere. But I still don't even have my surgery wing up yet. I did, in the last episode, pay off my I almost said student loan, but I paid off my loans, so I could take out another loan if I needed to. They need a defib in here. On the wall there. Now, I can't get a couch in there, unfortunately. I don't think that's going to work, but that looks okay. Let's give them TVs. It's 300 doubloons. I know I'm not supposed to. I know I'm wasting my money, but I just feel like they deserve televisions. If we do this one here, this person kind of gets to see it a little bit. That's a bummer for them, but hey, it is what it is. Okay, I'm going to flash through time here so that we can build, so we can get the washrooms in and the storage closet, the cleaning closet. Pow pow, washrooms in, a cleaning closet. This thing is tight. There is 1 stretcher. We probably need another stretcher. We've got 1 wheelchair over there. We have everything that these guys need. Let's go into here and grab, before it glitches out on me again, let's grab a Wi-Fi extender, because that's just going to look pretty good. We should probably have some fire stuff in here, maybe. Maybe a fire alarm would be good. So let's go click out of that there. I'm going to keep just constantly clicking in and out of it. Maybe a fire pole station there and there. That looks pretty good. I'm seeing I need to do my walls. But overall, I think if it's... Okay, this is the thing. I think this worked out really well if it's functional. So that's really the hope at this point, is that we have indeed built something that is functional. Let's get an on-call room in here. For the walls in here, let's just invert it because we're having fun. We're having a good time. It's a good episode. Might as well just do this. So there we go. Now, I've sealed it off. So this poster, which I do like, is actually in the way of what I need, which is a door. So we'll get that door in here. Put a garbage right there. So where's my decorative stuff? No, it's not going to be decorative. There we are. We just have to kind of go back to a more normal search here. Disinfectant dispenser as well. On their way in and out, obviously they're going to want to disinfect. I probably need enough for 4 spots. What do I have office desk-wise? I kind of can. No, you can't do 4 here unless I did it this way. Yeah, we're going to do it that way. Wait, how many doctors do I need? Man, this place is tiny. Oops, sorry. Here we go. So I need 3 doctors at least, and one surgeon, and that might... So I think we can just call this a day at 4. We need 4. So this needs to be another situation where it's just like everybody... It's like a free-for-all kind of situation. Like a glass desk, but is there one that's like less... You know, dorky. I don't want a glass desk. Just sit them all at coffee tables? No. I guess I could do metal desks. Where are those metal desks? I think I have a bunch of them down here. That's not the vibe either, is it, though? Lab tables. I think we might have to go with glass desks. Or we could do... No, we could do these tables. That's kind of... Man, the doctors are not going to be stoked about this. The doctors and the viewers of this channel are going to be like, what are you doing, dude? Well, we're doing it. Sorry. It has to be done. I might have to move it over 1 more even. Can they get to those positions? Let's give them nicer chairs at least, maybe. They're not going to be able to get there, I don't think. Okay, new plan. Let's Let's move these out here. This is a real lesson in compact design. And I'm not sure if, like, unfortunately, the lesson about compact design that you're learning right now might be don't do it. That could be the issue. Is that we're not supposed to do this. Let's get rid of this one and turn it into a desk. Same vibes, though. Okay, good. Now we can get a printer. How much money do I have? I'm gonna have to get a loan, I think. I think I'm gonna have to get a loan. Let's give them a PC right here. Oh, that's why you can't do a desk. Oh, I'm an idiot. Okay. Also, I shouldn't have sold that, but whatever. So we actually need to create our own version of a desk here. So we can get a printer there and a PC there. So now we have 4 active spots in an absolutely abysmal room. Normally, you'd come into this room and it would be kind of nice. This room is, dare I say, it's death-defyingly ugly. In fact, I don't even want to like show you this part. I'm gonna delete this part of the episode. That's how little I like it. Well, at least they have diplomas. Wait, you're not gonna let me put it there? Okay, I'll put it next to you guys there. You can have 1 diploma and a clock, which always breaks the game. Here, 1 second. There we are. Give me that clock. Oh, I'm not allowed to clock. Click out. Click back in. Ladies and gentlemen, I will fix that mod for the next episode. There we are. We don't want too much else in here. Let's give them a nice floor. Perhaps a matching one of these. No, let's give them a dark floor just like the nurse's station has, just to help kind of balance things out here. My goodness in heaven. It also kind of lacks some nice clutter that makes you feel a little bit at home. It's missing a homey vibe. Let's give them an extra one of these. Yeah, it's a very small office, unfortunately, but that's the way it is with our small hospital. Okay, folks, this is the visitor center next. Let's do this one. Let's go with double glass doors on it because I wanted to have like a sort of a welcoming open vibe to it. And then I'm going to go for a visitor's table and chairs. You could do 2 right there, but I'm not going to. Because what I want to do is make it a little nicer. Let's change my angle here so I can take a look at it. Something like this, maybe? Oh, this could be nice. Wish you could put a coffee table in front of it. I mean, you kind of can. It'll just, like, kill the vibes. Like, that won't be functional anymore. Where do we go? If I could go 1 more over if I move the window. Or we move this wall. Okay, hang on. Let's move this over. Like so. Grab this glass door. I need to put it here, I think. Okay, so let's move you for now. The signage. Over to there. Let's get it out of the way. Put the glass right up against the edge. Get rid of this one. Put this. Come here. Gimme. Gimme. Put that away for a second. Here we go. This is going to look nice. You guys are going to like this. I'm sure of it. So we've got this in the corner. Because I think you need that to make it a functional space. I don't know if they actually use the sofa. Then we do a little seating area like this. Now, how cute does that look? Get me a lamp, folks. Gotta click out again. Where's that little table lamp? Oh, a small table lamp right there. Now that's real nice. That's looking good. You can get some posters in here. Potted plant, perhaps, in the corner. Do they need like a drink machine? Or like a water fountain? We only have that water cooler. I could give them a water cooler. I'm not a total monster. Let's give them a water cooler. Needs it to be... Where does it need to be? Yeah, that kills that off. Right in front of the window, I guess. I don't know. Okay, there we go. So that's our lounge area. That's our kind of meeting room area. And honestly, I kind of like it. But the big piece, the pièce de résistance here is going to be our surgery room. And then we have an operational room. Well, okay, we got to design these rooms, but these are kind of boring rooms, so I might have to fast forward through time on these ones. But this is the big one right here. Let's get to designing our surgery room. In designing this room, I went and just threw down a lot of tile. We technically don't have to worry about this too much because I want to use this room later once I've figured out how to make the second floor a shared surgery wing. However, for right now, we might as well still do a good job because we might end up just moving it or copying it. I know right off the bat we're going to want restricted access, and we're going to need two sections, like a scrubbing section and a surgery section. The washing and the slicing. So I think we could have, where do we want washing and slicing? We could have washing on this side, so you come in and you wash and then you slice. And it's a little bit more like separated this way. This way makes a little more sense as far as getting people in and out really quick. I'm going to put it here just so that we have a little bit more space, because if you put it right here, that's like, this is a tight little corner, and I kind of like it right there anyway. So I'm going to go restricted access, and I don't want you to see. You know, we're slicing on people in here, and we're getting ready to slice, so I don't want people to see. But once you're inside, you can see. So let's grab a wall. Let's make it this wall, and then go straight across there. Is that enough for a slice? I'm not sure. Oh, what if we go on the floor here? This is the important stuff, obviously. You got to get your floor done. And we do like a little square around here. So it's like, you guys, this is where you do your scrubbins. Scrubbins, then slicins. And then I think you're going to want to be able to see in there, and you're going to want double doors to get your, stretcher through or whatever. So we go glass here. Which, honestly, this is probably going to end up looking a lot more like the prefabs. That's that thing about, like, why don't you just place a prefab? And I'm like, well, I don't want to. I like creating my own vibe. And I think, again, we're going kind of old hospital. So this is actually, I don't know, I buy this. This is feeling good. Okay, so you come in here, you're going to want to scrub up. So let's take a look. You got scrub shelves. You also have scrubbing sinks rather than normal sinks. What do these guys look like? Like that. So let's go, like, along the edge here. 2, maybe, is enough? 2 scrubbing sinks. Then, what else do you need out here? Probably an equipment table, warming cabinets, scrub shelves. Okay, so let's go scrub shelf. Let's have 2 low ones here. Let's get another... Oh, operating table. Okay, well... I mean, I'm coming back for you, obviously, but for right now... There you are in the middle of the... We'll worry about that later. Where's the stretcher I wanted? I didn't want this stretcher. I want the other stretcher. This is the only stretcher they want me to use. I want this one, though. Eyedropper, baby. Give me a stretcher in here for... Oh. No stretcher placement? Oh, I'm out of money. Oh, that's why. Oh, no, we got to go take a loan. How many of you were watching going like, he's got to take a loan? We'll check it out. I didn't take a loan yet. So I can just do 20,000 doubloons. That's enough. We can pay that off pretty soon, provided this I designed this well and we actually get injury customers in. Okay, oh, there's the stretcher anyway. I can see it now. Okay, so clicking on this, we've got our stretcher. We probably need some warming cabinets. I don't know if we need 2 of those. Surgical instruments. We're probably going to need all that stuff in here, obviously. 3 times. Oh, you need 3 scrubbing sinks. I didn't see that. It actually literally tells me how many I need. And then we need 3 scrub shelves, so we don't currently have enough. So we could get rid of this warmer. We could put a small warmer in here, and then a shelf scrubs thing there. And that kind of covers me for scrubs things. But do we like this room? Does it feel kind of cool? I think it needs to be more cluttered. I think we need... And again, I got to be careful when I say clutter. You know what I mean. Let's get a... you don't want a defib. The defib, all that stuff's going to be in there. But if I go into the generic search version, maybe we can get some disinfectant stuff. Because, like, yeah, I know you're scrubbing, but maybe on your way out, you just do 1 more disinfectant. Or do you do it... Here, let's hit the eye, and let's have it on both sides. Double-sided disinfectant. You can never be too safe. Man, I don't know how doctors do it. Like, how are your... It's not blocking the scrubbing area? Interesting. I don't like it there. How do you not just have the driest possible skin? You know what I mean? Okay. Scrub shelf... I want to put another one in there. I'm going to put an equipment cabinet, though, instead. An equipment table that moves. And we'll get something on there. Let's go generic with it and take a look at what my options are. Autopsy equipment, for when I killed a dude. Maybe some glassware. No, it's not going to fit. Maybe a small, like whatever this is. Radio immunogen mandatory equipment measures antigens concentrations. It looks cool, but I'm also starting to realize that I'm spending way too much money on decorations. And I literally did just take out a massive loan. So I should probably be a little smart about this. Ooh, I like that equipment cabinet. That's a cool looking one. That's a very cool looking equipment cabinet. Let's do it here. Let's move this warmer over to here. Give me that cool looking equipment cabinet. That thing looks sweet. Can I change the color? Yes, I can. That's the silver. How silver can I? Okay, that's as silver as I go. Okay. And then we'll put a warming station right here. Okay, so it's a bit of a scrub up area. We've got some scrub shelves. We don't have another thing above our equipment. All right, let's go in here and see what we need. We need operational digital imaging, and it's got to go right there. We can kind of rotate it around. Okay. Then we're going to need an instruments table. It has to be right there. Why am I not seeing where this arrow goes? Oh, right there. There we go. Okay, there we are. And it needs surgery instruments on it. Okay. We need some stools. One stool there, probably more stools. A suction machine, gross. We need a defib, operating table. We have that electro cautery machine. Okay, so we need some equipment cabinets. Anesthesia workstation, we got that. So electro cautery machine. Yeah, it's very tight. So I tried to move things, and I'm just like, somebody needs to stand here. So it's a small surgery room, but I think it works. Then, of course, I kind of want another one of these around. They look really cool. But I need to be able to walk behind there. So I'll just put one in there for now. Can I put... Oh, I can put a defib on there. That's awesome. Okay. It still says the operating table is missing. So, oh, it's this thing is not in the right spot. There we go. There we go. Now, let's have a biohazard bin. Probably there. I think, like, what else would you normally have? Another thing of surgical instruments, maybe? Like, I think we still have the money, so we still do need some RP, like some vibes in here still. So let's get something like that there. Or do we go maybe along here? We could have some equipment tables. What if we move this guy over here? And over here we have some equipment cabinets, like a row of these things. I don't know if they should be on wheels, though, should they? Can I put stuff on top here? What if it's like 1, 2, 3? Oh, they can't get around. Okay, so let's go here. Just a little cabinet area. And then some scrubs on top of that. For if they need, because they're probably going to need some more stuff to, to go in and get some more, sutures or gut tape. Oh, and we can put more glassware in there. Okay, glassware is good. And I think somewhere in decorative, trauma tools. That's kind of cool. That looks very cool. That is a mod, but I mean, it's not useful, but it's good. Okay, so I think this room is up and active. Folks, I think we've done it. In the next episode, we need to do some exterior work, but aside from these little diagnostics rooms, which unfortunately I'm going to have to use time to get past, we have an operational cardio wing. So let's use a little bit of magic to get these boring rooms done and then move forward. And a little bit of decorative stuff. Never mind. It's... Oh, I've run out of money again! Why do I keep running out of money? Oh, it's because I didn't actually need these items in this room, but I copied this room over thinking they would be somewhat similar. But you don't need... I don't think you need this. Deleting it. Yeah, we're good, and I don't think you need this thing in here. So that's saved me a bit of money, I guess. Maybe we don't need this either, then. There we are. I've got minus $1, so I can't actually do any decorating. But maybe in the next episode we'll fill the walls in here a little bit. I promise you didn't miss that much. So here's my diagnostic room. I got a little bunny calendar in there, a little privacy screen just because they're kind of near the waiting room, and we can get a doctor in there, no problem. Then up in these rooms, they're pretty straightforward. I put a little detail stripe along the front there just to break up the floors a bit. Nothing crazy. But these rooms ultimately are sort of carbon copies of each other. They just need a little bit more life in them when I get the money/chance. But what do we have here? A completed, if not a little bit cramped, full operational cardiology hospitality wing. Hospitalization wing. Whew, this is going to be tough on the economy, but let's start hiring some people here. We need 3 doctors just in general, but we do need a cardio surgeon as well. 31%. She's a dirty lady, but we're going to take her. So we're going to hire that person. That gives me 1 and 1. Then I'm going to go for another general medicine cardiology. 37 is good. Hard worker, we'll take them. Honestly, their debuffs are not really that bad. Long commute, clean feet is good. Long commute, not so good. Like, we can find somebody slightly better. Hidden unhappiness skills, whatever, that's fine. But we now have 3 and 3 here. We do need an anesthesiologist, so let's take a look at what we have here. Medical surgery. We need at least 1 surgery nurse. Oh, no, we need 2 surgery nurses. So let's get another medical surgery nurse here. She looked... Dude, hang on. Dana... It's maybe just her hair and the bags under her eyes, but she looks... Actually, that's probably a real nurse right there. That's a real one. Patient care is probably pretty good. Clinical nurse specialist. Let's bring her onto the team as well. So we have our 3 nurses. We need techs. We need an anesthesiologist, which I think is a doctor. I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Who does the anesthesiology? Yeah, no, it is. Okay, so oh, there we go. Click for somebody who can do that. 19, 22. I think I want 46 or 22 here. Let's take a look. 1. This one's an early bird. Works more efficiently during the day. We're going to have her during the day. She's expensive, but let's get her. That's another doctor and an anesthesiologist, so we can now do surgeries, so that's pretty good. We need a cardio tech. Oh, we need a doctor at night, so let's get at least 1 doctor. They will not be doing surgeries, so that's the thing, right? So we kind of need, let's go some, honestly, Carol, you cheap, we gotta go with you. You can run an entire surgery department at night as well, but I just don't know if we have the money for it at the moment. We don't think we need that. Clinical nurse specialist, patient care. Let's get Sarah to take over the nighttime. Hey, all right. Oh dear, increased clinic patients per day to 15. That's not ideal. And yeah, so we can run that during the day. We do need a cardio tech during the day. So USG 18, 247. Long commute is not ideal. Rest levels decrease slower. I like this for you, so I'm hiring you. And our cardio tech, let's hire you. Just in general, good at cardiology and biochemistry. Master scientist. 3 hidden traits, though. That, Carol, let's get you because it's just kind of fun. We're just rolling the dice on you. And then I don't need anybody for my diagnostics units. The doctors will do that. I have a 4th spot for a doctor there. I may expand the waiting room along here and just put some chairs and some vending machines in this hallway. Try to make this hallway a little more functional. But for now, at minus $1... this is all I can do. And wham, there we go. There's a few more chairs. So hopefully that'll help spread these guys out and they can sit some other places. There we go. That looks a little better, if still a little packed though. It's been a fabulous day working here in the hospital. A surgery just appears to be wrapping up. I totally missed it, which is such a shame. Cardiovascular surgery. I really was paying attention to too many other things. We've managed to make a decent amount of profit today. Ooh, there's blood all over the floor. I might need 2 cleaner uppers. And honestly, like, it looks to me like things are moving fairly smoothly here. We have 3 patients hospitalized, which means we have our HDU is actually full, so that's something to keep in mind. The HDU is totally full, so we may need to swing this room around into another HDU. But the capacity, while we're getting close to at capacity, is manageable. So this room could become an expansion to our lounge, which is apparently, it's just these tables here, these small chairs. Those are the ones that people use. The couches are not actually active lounge areas. So we might want to just add a few more of these little visitor tables in. But other than that, like this thing seems to have come together quite nicely, so I'm quite proud of it. I'm very happy with it. I hope that you all enjoyed this episode and found it to be a truly piece of solid content. We'll do some more decorating. We'll do a little exterior work in the next episode. I predict the next episode is also going to be our ICU going, so we can get some more ambulances coming in. But we are getting close to something where we really need to start considering what the exterior is going to look like, because kind of coming close to the end here. I think with how many floors we have left, I think 2 more floors. I think what we're looking at is maybe 1, maybe 2 more departments that we can open. And then our little urban hospital is in its final place. It's looking good. And I can't wait to see you guys in the next episode.